Hello again. Chapter 2, anybody? I believe when we left off, the dude's brother got something with brother in a lighthouse. Alright, chapter 2. I laughed I laughed hysterically as the lickety-split quick tick crawled higher and higher on the lighthouse. Well, technically, I was the one making it crawl and tell jokes. With my mind. Yes, you heard that correctly. I was causing the tick to do tricks and also talk. It's a talent I have. Long story. Good story. But not for right now. Something earth-shattering was about to happen at our house. Anyway, I had the little fellow give a wave before it flipped forward and did one clawed handstand on the top of the lighthouse. And at the exact unforgettable instant, I suddenly flew back off the bench as a wall-shaking explosion detonated in the room above my head. Something in Mrs. had just crashed into the kitchen. Was it a freight train? A plane? A sick feeling ripped through my stomach. Where was my mom? The list! I know I heard a deep, strangled voice roar from the kitchen above. You think you can hide it from me? I know you have the list, and I want it now! I climbed to my feet, my mouth open, my eyes wide and locked onto the ceiling. Don't hurt us, please, my mother sobbed. Who are you? What list? Wait, hold on, I heard my father say. Lower the gun by my friend. I'll get the list for you. I have it nearby. The list is here? The deep voice loomed once again. Right here in this pathetic little hovel in Kansas of all places? Yes, now if you just lower the... I fell to the floor again as a string of deafening explosions drowned out my father's voice. Shooting, I thought. My eyes clenched shut, my hands flying to my ears. On August 24, I realized with the same instantaneous knowledge that I had about the Arthropoda acnita acri mestigmata, the dog tick. Then I heard my father call out, "We love you, Daniel." Always. The clanging echo of the shouts hung in the silence after the opus finally stopped. Stay right there. Don't get up, either of you. As if you could, the stranger said with a nasty laugh. I'll go find the list myself. Mom, I thought, tears flooding down my cheeks. Dad. Then another terrible thought entered my mind, and it was bright and urgent as a neon sign. The aliens are here, I whispered, and reached up and clicked off the basement light. I prepared to be eaten, or maybe worse. Well, that was a short chapter. Chapter 3, anyone? Chapter 3. I was trembling and pressing my small, vulnerable body against an old water heater, petrified about what might have just happened to my mom and dad, when a beam of violet-tinged light shone down the stairs into the basement. And then I saw it, a 6.5-foot praying mantis. At least it had taken that terrible form tonight. From behind the water heater, I stared in horror at the creature's long, grossly bulging, plum-colored body, its small, almost shrunken head, its large, liquid black eyes. What a foul beast. It had long, stringy red dreadlocks hanging down between its antennae, and a dull black metal assault rifle cradled in its sharply jointed arms. I know you're down here, boy, said the extra large sized insect with a slow, horrifying roll of its stalk-like neck. I am called the Prayer, and there is very little that the Prayer does not know. If you come to me now, I may go easy on you. May. But I do hereby promise, cross my heart, and hope to live forever, if you continue to make me play this silly game of hide-and-seek. You are going to learn the meaning of the word punishment. This abomination, this beast that dared call itself the Prayer, proceeded to tear the basement apart, obviously looking for the list. Powered by its massive legs, it suddenly leaped up the stairs and chased the rest of the house, screeching, "List! List! List! List!" Then I was back in my play space, looking for me, no doubt angrier and hungrier than ever. The Prayer smiled eerily, flashing jagged yellow broken bottle shard teeth. It covered 15 feet of my room with a single hop. Game over, you pathetic little puke-meister. Maybe you know where the list is. Do you? Do you? That's when I realized that behind the thick wall of fear, my mind was actually trying to save me. Of course, I thought, I had a plan, a shred of hope that could salvage my life. The Prayer swung its evil-looking head around the side of the water heater, and found absolutely nothing. What the heck? The first chapter was 9 pages long. Oh. Guess not. Chapter 4. The repugnant freak gasped with surprise and outrage. "What?" it screeched at the top of its voice range. "Not possible! I smelt you there a second ago!" Well, technically I was still right there. I looked cross-eyed at my new beak-like hypostome as I scurried away on my 8 new clawed legs. The answer to my immediate problem had been straightforward. All I needed to do was make myself less conspicuous to the murderous beast. Do you follow what just happened? The full significance of it? It's important. You see, my abilities didn't stop at being able to make ticks talk and do tricks. Now I was the tick. I had transformed myself. Towering above me like a skyscraper, the Prayer opened its razor-sharp jaws, and there was a bubbling, wet, sickening sound. Then a jet of a jelly-like blue flame shot from its mouth. The basement walls, carpet, and ceiling caught fire in the blink of my eyes. "Take that, you little nothing! I flame broil my meat like Burger King and Beelzebub. Still in tiny tick form, I raced away from the smoke and scorching heat until I was crushed against the basement's concrete foundation wall, which now seemed as big as a cliff to me. I reached up tentatively with one of my claws. Some good news, at least. My claw stuck into the concrete like superglue. Next, I was scampering up the wall behind the Prayer's head. Then I jumped and landed smack dab in the center of the alien's greasy, dreadlocked hair. I locked my hyposome down tight like a seatbelt on a strand of his hair, just as the homicidal Prayer jumped effortlessly to the top of the burning basement stairs again. There I got a horrific, never-to-be-forgotten look at my mom and dad, lying face down on the kitchen floor. I knew they were dead, and there was nothing I could do for them. I knew it in my heart and soul. I just couldn't believe it yet, couldn't accept it. Then the prayer smashed through the kitchen window and burst into the night. "Failure, failure, failure!" it bellowed. "I hate failure. Where is the list?" Something struck my head then. The end of a tree branch, maybe. I found myself flying through the cold air. The breath was knocked out of me, and I landed hard on the packed dirt floor of the woods behind our farmhouse. I was a 3-year-old boy again, transformed, no longer a tick. I stood and turned back and stared in disbelief and terror that could find no voice at that awful moment. Already our house was a blazing shell of its former self. My mom and dad were dead and being incinerated inside. There was a sound of glass shattering as the upstairs window to my bedroom blew out with the heat. Then, for a long time, there was a roar of the flames, and my soft little boy cries as I stood there alone in the woods. For the first time, orphaned and homeless. I recalled a song my mom used to sing to me, "Starlight, star bright, for star I see tonight." She and my dad loved the skies and the stars. And I remember thinking very clearly, as if I had suddenly grown up on that horrifying, unforgettable night, "I know where the list is. My father has taken me to see it many times, maybe just for this reason. And I know what it is, the list of alien outlaws on terra firma. And I know who I am, Daniel, son of Graf, son of Turfgron, the alien hunter. No last name, just Daniel X. I have to tell you one more thing about that night. I must get out. I must get it out. Even though I was only 3 years old, I am ashamed that I didn't fight the prayer to death." Shoot, that was just a prologue? A 4-chapter prologue? Now we're at the real legit stuff. Well, bye.